Last day of school. For school. You've been in school since you were in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And now you're not in school anymore.
Done.
That is amazing.
For school.
That's so weird.
Okay, you guys saw it there. It is Sienna's last day of school. She is graduating from high school and decided to come fly. So going from high school to flight school, let's jump in the cockpit and let's go flying with Sienna, a student pilot working on her private pilot. Okay, what a cool opportunity to go flying with Sienna on her last day of school. The cool thing is, on the last episode I did with her that I shared with you guys, it was her birthday, and we're actually flying one day after the other here, and she gets to go flying on her birthday. This ends up being a really eventful flight, and for those of you that are interested in flight training, you're wondering what it's like to be an actual student, this is a really, really good example of that. I'm going to show you guys every single landing that we do. And it's interesting if you watch throughout every single landing, just watch for the little nuances of how things improve in her landings. And of course, I don't want to overwhelm her on the first landing, right? So I'm just like every landing really, but I'm just adding like little things here and there as we go throughout. And you can see marked improvement as we go throughout the lesson. There's also a couple really cool surprises, and you're about to see that right now. So before we ended up going flying, there was this C-17 outside our hangar, and we heard it coming in. We got excited because, of course, we're nerds for airplanes. So we ran out there to watch this thing taxi in. A C-17 is a large military transport. They tend to work down here in Homer quite often because they're working with Air Force Special Forces, what they call the PJs. And what they do is this C-17 will literally open the back. It'll fly over the bay here in the ocean, and the guys will jump out from the back and do water rescues. So they literally like dive in the water and then do water rescues. So that is what they're working on today. That means that we kind of get a little bit up close and personal. That may or may not cause some issues later on in our flight that you guys may or may not see. So let's jump in the cockpit after watching here and admiring this big airplane parked right next to the hangar, and let's go flying with Sienna. You can be a fly on the cockpit wall and watch this flight lesson take place. Again, lots of little cool details and nuance here throughout this video.
Okay, here it is. And we're gonna like taxi under the wing or something. Actually, a little bit more to the right. And Homer traffic 2394, and we're on Charlie, and we're just taxiing past the C-17. That's so cool. Homer traffic 2394, we're at the Elfineer. We're lining up for runway 22, taking off, staying in the pattern. Good job. I like your head on a swivel.
And Homer traffic, Smoky Bay, 6 of the Victors, face to final 22, landing long.
All right, let's go. Oh yeah, a little bumpy today.
That'll be fun. Repeat.
Yep, you got it.
Gas. Up. Undercarriage fixed. Fixture. Prop and seatbelt switches.
You're slightly trending down. You're descending just a little bit slowly. Your power is pretty good. You just need a little bit nose up trim, I guess. It's very minor. You're right there. You're probably actually just pressuring it yourself. And if you do get warm, you can pull this air out, by the way. You got a little...
This thing?
Yep, just turn it. Now turn, yep.
Ah, there we go. Homer traffic 2423, uniform turning left base, runway 22.
Okay, looking around the corner, kind of seeing how it's going. Looking ahead of you for traffic.
446, 3 northeast.
Hey, look outside. Look where you're going.
Left base traffic in sight, looking for the other planning. Number 2 for 22.
I'd say a little less
Yellow
power.
Skywagons on the left crosswind for 22 with Homer.
Okay, on this first landing, she's just getting back into it. Of course, we flew again yesterday. How does she do if I just throw it at her and let her do a landing right at the beginning?
I called earlier, 6 northwest. That was me. Okay.
Look. There we go. There we go. Bringing it on. Oh my gosh! It doesn't want to land. Wow, that was weird.
Shoreline final 22.
Okay, let's clean her up. Go around. Make sure that's all the way down. It's not. Okay, there we go. My controls.
Controls.
Just some odd engine roughness. You feel that?
Not really.
I feel it.
So as an instructor, I'm obviously more used to flying this airplane. I recognize a little engine roughness and just try to check it out. It ends up being nothing, but better safe than sorry.
Like you were getting like a power reduction and we weren't. I didn't know if it was car bias. Homer traffic 23 uniform on the downwind runway 22. Alright, I want to be a little bit more deliberate about our heading on landing. Like lock in the center line of the runway and keep it down the whole time. It's going to take little tiny corrections. We don't want to like correct ourselves on be doing this. We just find what we need and keep it on track. And we need like to approach at 70. So if we're approaching at 80, we're going to float like that forever. We could probably even approach at 65 with this new wing. So extra energy in the wing is going to be harder to land.
Just maybe pulling the power back earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we carried a little bit too much power through that whole last one.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform turning left base runway 22.
A little less power. Shoot for like 30, yeah, somewhere in there. Alright, now add a little bit more power. Kind of sinking a little bit too much. You see that, the runway? Okay, now I want you to roll a nice turn. Just watch your runway.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform turning final runway 22.
There we go. Okay. Okay, slowly roll back a little power. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Right about there. Come over on center line. Just kind of ride through these bumps. It'll be fine. Okay, a little less power. One more notch of flaps, by the way.
On this one, I want to see Sienna have better center line and speed control. So those are the things I'm looking for.
Let's try that. Okay, be deliberate on center line. See how I'm moving my feet too. Now look down the runway and hold it off. Ooh. Hey, hold her off. Whoa. Okay. We have arrived. Make sure you kind of keep 80 in your climb as you turn here. There'll be a little bit more pitch back. Yep. Keep your coordination.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform turning left downwind runway 22.
Alright, let's try to stay right at 900 this time. Get a little more power to get there so you don't get too slow. So usually we fly at 1950, so we'll probably need like 2050. There, now we creeped up there. Now we can get it back to 1950. Put our nose down a little, and then we'll get our speed back to 80, and then you can retrim. Those are small minor things. You're like right on the edge of doing it perfect. Okay, this time I'm gonna help you a little bit. Okay, to like feel what the little corrections feel like, alright? And so you can feel where, like, from here, we're not doing much to keep the airplane steering here and there. Like, we kind of are, but we don't have the finite point to aim at, which is the runway. But I'm just going to follow along with you a little bit, and you can feel what I do.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform, turning left base runway 22.
Bring your power back. Bring your power way back. We're way high. See how high we are compared to before? Way high. Try to go idle. And we want to be careful not to, like, dive it. I want to get you more. Okay, so I'm with you. That's why we want to look at the runway, because then we can change our bank angle to try to roll out on final. And then we're going to come back to it. Okay, don't add any power.
On this landing, I noticed that Sienna tends to lean into a turn, and I want her to stop that because it can kind of cause some visual illusions. So that's another little detail we throw in on this one.
And now we're coming back to center line. If you don't lean, it'll help you because you're creating visual illusions for yourself. And these are just bumps that are going to feel kind of weird. All right, now this is going to happen pretty fast. So get ready to put your eyes down the runway and hold it off, okay? Or power idle, right? Yeah. Okay, now hold it off. And keep looking down. Okay, a little bit more. A little bit more. Sure. Whoop, whoop, ba-doo, ba-doo. Okay, flaps up. Repeat off. And finish the flaps. And roll. Roll fast, roll fast, roll fast.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform on the roll runway 22.
Okay, good right rudder,
So,
good quick
when should I add the third notch at like base or?
So sometimes people add it over the numbers. Over the numbers means the runway numbers or at the runway threshold. We'll experiment a little bit, see what that feels like. Basically, when the runway is made, you can add the third.
Okay.
Some people will add the third well before that and use a lot of power. A little steep on your bank. They'll add the power, like roll in with a lot of power to stay on track, but I don't know. I like the more glide approach.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform, turning left downwind runway 22.
Yep, boss woman. Yep, there you go. That's how we like it. Okay. Now we got all this time to figure stuff out. Okay, good job getting your altitude back.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform, turning left base runway 22.
Look around the corner, see how it feels, and that way you know when to start your turn and when to roll out, just based on how the wind's acting.
Let's see how this one comes together. She's getting back in the saddle now. This is going to be her fourth landing, and let's see how it goes.
All right.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform, turning final runway 22.
6 Golf Bravo
All right.
on the roll 22, Homer.
Go ahead and pull your third notch flaps. There you go. You got it? The next one. Keep going. Keep trying. There you go. That's going to act as a little bit of a brake for us. Create some more drag, okay? Now we want to be really small corrections, deliver it with the controls. Feel that? See, I'm just doing little corrections. Okay, my eyes are down the runway. I'm rounding out and burning off the extra energy. And now hold it off. Hold it. Good, good. This is good. A little bit more nose up. Right there. Hold it. You did it. Yes.
Closest to the center line I've ever been.
4013 uniform.
Okay.
With Juliet and cap the traffic will be,
We fixed a couple good things there. Okay, go ahead. Flaps up. Did that die?
I think so.
Okay, let's get in the air.
Okay, guys, just a huge thank you to those of you that have been using that super thanks to contribute to Sienna's training. It's super helpful. I'm just so grateful for that. There's been some awesome donations there, but every dollar counts. So essentially, if you're enjoying this, you're getting something out of it. It's helping you. Just think what a couple dollars from everyone could do for Sienna. So go ahead and hit that super thanks, give what you want, and that will help contribute to her training. And she's all self-funded. She's not going to get any loans. So super helpful. It goes to a good cause, and we want to see her do well. So thank you for that, and let's get back to the training.
Okay, 1 home radio, roger. You got the other 2 doing touch and go 2-2. A firm, we got the touch and go, and then the
controls
on the runway.
Homer traffic 2-3 uniform just turned left crosswind, runway 22, about to turn downwind. And Sockeye, what would you like us to do? We could go for a little scenic flight here while you guys back taxi.
Yeah, we're going to be ready to depart here very shortly. As soon as this traffic takes off 22, we should be ready to just buzz out on 4, and then we'll probably stay low, and we're going to go around the spit towards anchor point.
Okay, well, as soon as the traffic clears 22, we'll do a 360 out here on the downwind for you to depart runway 4.
Hey, we totally appreciate it, guys.
Okay, this will be fun. Okay, so let's bring the power back like we would normally. And just get her leveled off like you would normal. Okay, carb heat. First notch, 100 and under. Okay, so this is going to be awesome.
Okay, so Sockeye just called up. That's the call sign for the C-17 that was on the ground. And I like to be kind and courteous to these big airplanes. They don't really play well with us, so it's in our best interest to let them get out of our hair as fast as possible. Okay, so they want to get out of the area, and we're just going to do a 360 for spacing. And wait until you see this. This is awesome.
That is so cool. We won the internet today. That is so cool.
What kind of plane is that?
It's a C-17.
Homer traffic. Sockeye 1 heavy, the depart runway 4 will be coming up to about 500 feet, and then making a right turn over the spit.
Wow. Okay, don't prepare for a landing yet, okay? And I'll tell you why here in a second. We gotta be cautious about wake turbulence.
All right, now that we're done with that whole thing, we want to be cautious about wake turbulence, which are this big effect of lift that comes off the wings. And the bigger the airplane, the stronger that is. If we were to get caught in that wake turbulence, it would flip the airplane. It could destroy the airplane. Extremely dangerous. So we want that lift, that wake turbulence to settle down to the ground, get out of the way before we approach. And to our favor, Sockeye stays low here. They stay below 500. So it shouldn't take long for that wake turbulence to dissipate down, and then we can go in for a landing. Okay, we feel good about making the landing now, so let's go in and land after all these 360s out in the pattern.
Hey, look at your final. Look at your runway gauge. You need a little bit more bank. There you go. See how that feels? Oh, look at him out there.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform, final runway 22.
Good. Now roll out. Okay, good. This feels nice. Last notch of flaps.
And number traffic, so I can be 6 of the Victors. Back taxi on the ground, we're
Here's
going to be
the
holding
purples.
for the landing traffic.
Hey, eyes down the runway. Well, almost. Now eyes down the runway. Roll back the power. Eyes down and hold it off. Just sample it. Sample it.
247 Julie Golf on radio.
A little bit more.
C-17 out there somewhere at 500
A
feet.
little bit more.
Got,
Nice.
station headed your way.
That was good.
Touching goes 2-2.
I like that. Hey, try to keep that rudder through the turbulence. Try to keep it balanced so we're not doing this. That's a little bit tricky. That's an advanced thing, but I'd like to see it try.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform turning left crosswind runway 22.
Good, good, good. Okay, so when you come down on the runway, I've told you the burn off and all that, looking down the runway. But then as we're holding it off, there's a tip I saw that's called sampling the response. So do a little bit of pressure and see how that works. Do a little bit more, see how that works. A little bit more, you know what I mean? Like, keep just sampling and see how it goes. If you pull too much, then let that back go and just sample it until you find the right attitude to set down. That make any sense?
So like, yeah, less yanking and more like.
Yes, just a little bit of sample to see how it goes. But you do want to rest the descent. You don't want to come down and just go kaboosh, right? So you do need to level it off, but then it's just sampling the response a little bit here and there to, as you're pulling back, to feel what it feels, feel how it goes. Homer traffic 2394 midfield, left downwind, runway 22. Homer.
247 Juliet Golf. I'm just entering about mid downwind here. Where you at?
Yeah, I'm right ahead of you. It says you're 200 below me, but I'm passing the numbers runway 22 now.
Okay, I got you now, Roger. You go ahead.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform turning final runway 22.
Okay, good, good, good. Little fast, so we have too much power. You have any extra power?
It's idle.
Okay. Okay, third notch.
Okay, so let's see everything come together on this one and see if she's making progress now. I'm starting to notice some really good repetitions and some really good progress. This is building all the way from the day prior when we flew on her birthday. So let's just see how it goes.
That's a muscle one. There you go. Make small corrections. You're doing good. Don't lean your body. Now eyes down the runway. Good. Rounding it out. Right? And now sampling the response. A little bit more. A little bit more.
Animal traffic. Monkey Bay 6 to the Victor. Tip of the spit. 1900 southbound switching.
So, pulling back, we got to make sure that we also bank into the wind if it's pushing us like that, right? We do a little bit of bank to stay on that center line, all right?
Homer radio. Kenai Air.
Oh, that was a fun one.
Cutting inbound now. Now 22, 15 miles to northeast of the bay.
Hey, a little more power. You're kind of slow on power. That's kind of ruining everything else. All right, this time we're going to aim for 80 on our base and 70 on our final. Okay, that's going to mean less power. Go ahead and try it now.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform turning left base runway 22.
Keep that power coming back. There we go. Okay, nice and deliberate. Retrim if you need to, so you're not holding as much pressure. Looking at your runway. Okay, 80. Oh, just what we want. Okay, checking final. Engaging, getting ready to look at the runway, engaging our turn.
Homer traffic 2423 uniform turning final runway 22.
Homer traffic. Kenai 12, 5 mile final runway 22, and we're looking at traffic.
Okay, getting a little slow now, okay? Rolling the power just slightly. Keep 70.
And once the uniform is left base, we'll keep extended out for you here.
Okay, look, keep the nose coming down a little bit more, getting a little slow.
Yeah, I see on the box.
And roll back the power. Eyes down the runway. Yep, there you go. Good, good. Sample, sample, sample it. Yeah! Oh, that was one of our better ones.
Okay, that last one was awesome. And now I want to see how it comes together again. Can we repeat that? Can we start to get some repetitions here that are solid, one after the other?
Getting some more wind right here. It says wind calm. I called.
Nope.
Oh, honky.
Hummer traffic 2423 uniform, turning left, crosswind runway 22.
Hey, watch that bank angle, especially in like gusty winds like this. I like your speed, I like your bank.
Hey,
There you go.
uniform is turning left base to final number 2, Homer.
Hummer traffic 2423 uniform, turning left base, runway 22.
On your final turn, I don't want you to put flaps in when you're turning on final, okay? Only when you're straight.
Okay.
Okay, this feels good. Feels good, looks good. Little shallow. Start to turn.
Hummer traffic 2423 uniform, turning final runway 22.
And see where it's taking us?
For power.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Okay, yep, do that final notch, yep, stay on center line. Steer for the center line. A little more power. Just a touch, there you go. Okay, and yep, stay nice and on center line, there you go. Right now, start to creep out that power, and just let the nose come down naturally. Eyes down the runway. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it a little less, right? A little more. Sampling that response. That was good. How do you feel about that one?
Using my headset.
Is that okay? Got it?
Okay.
Okay, that one was the best one yet. And now we're going to go back around on the pattern, and this will be our last one.
Last day of school. Yeah. More school. You've been in school since you were in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And now you're not in school
I'm
anymore.
done.
That is amazing.
For school.
That's so weird. I mean, college doesn't really count, you know?
I mean, it is school. You do have classes and homework.
Yeah, but like you're an adult, you get
Yeah.
to make your own decisions. You can show up if you want.
I mean, pretty much my entire senior year, I was like, do I want to go?
I don't want you to turn right now. Is that gonna screw you up?
Okay.
Just do everything normal, but turn now.
Hummer traffic 2423 uniform, turning left base, runway 22.
So that means we're gonna land a little longer. Power back a little bit more. There you go. We're gonna land a little longer, okay? Do everything else normal.
Flaps.
Or traffic 234 left base, and we're going to be landing long runway 22 for a rollout to Bravo North. Okay, final's clear. Okay, look good.
Hummer traffic 2423 uniform, turning final runway 22.
Hey, we're looking down the runway, because really our spot that we wanted is going to be down. Okay, steer back to center line. Steer on back. Come on back, Jack. Okay, third notch. Oh, this one's going to be beautiful. Eyes down the runway. Keeping that center line. Power all the way out. Nose up. And sample the response. Hold her off. Oh, my controls.
Charles?
Okay. So that's what we call a bounce and a porpoise. And if you don't stop it, it'll just keep getting worse. I don't know if that one would have, but in that case, you could just go around and get out of there.
So you guys notice I had the takeover there at the end, and that's just because we have something that kind of popped up. She bounced the landing, could have gotten into a porpoise. We haven't really covered that yet in our training, so I took over the airplane really quickly just to make sure that we ended up safe in that situation. So let's taxi in the airplane now, and her and I will have a debriefing. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that flight. I just thought it was really interesting to watch the progression throughout that entire lesson. You got to see every single landing, so you get to see the little tiny things added on little by little that end up becoming successful. And this is what I see quite often in this stage of the training. We start off a little rusty at the beginning of the lesson. It's just, you know, getting your feet wet again, getting back into how to fly the plane, how to do the procedures, what things look like. That takes a couple landings. But then you start to get these really good reps at the very end. And eventually, as we do these flights in the pattern, essentially she'll come back and the very first rep might be a little rusty, but from there it looks good. So that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to see if she or any student, maybe it's you, comes into the cockpit, they really have it figured out from the beginning. But it takes time. It takes these repetitions. We've been doing a lot of these landings, and there's just all these little tips and tricks that I give that really the student has to see several times, and then that slows down over time. They can finally see it at the end. You can see it's just that last little bit of that we're really working on, the alignment of the airplane, the speed control, the flare, and the touchdown. And that's it. That's the hardest part. That's what takes the most repetitions. But I hope you guys are enjoying that process and getting something out of that, no matter what stage of training you're in. So thanks for coming, and thanks for being a part of this. Make sure to like this video if you liked it, of course. Make sure to subscribe to stick around. And you're not going to know we post a new video unless you hit that notification bell, so make sure you do that as well. Fly safe, and until next time, throttle on.